This is somewhat on a different note, but going back to the appropriate line of questioning, I look at the questions that Vice President Biden faced during his early campaign in '08 and the questions that Senator Kerry faced in 2004. Is there an appropriate standard of questioning for Catholic Democrats in this day and age?
That's a question I'd love you to address to our bishops, actually. I think, I guess there is. I think it is because the Catholic Church has made abortion such a central part of its political teaching ministry, if you will, if I can call it that. I think Catholics will inevitably face this question, and I think it's a fair question to ask Catholic candidates. I personally think it's very dangerous what has happened in the church, and here I'm not speaking as a journalist, but as, they all come together, but this is the Catholic me speaking here. What troubles me is that if a Catholic candidate does not take the position that abortion should be illegal across the board, and this becomes a block for large sections of the church leadership, what they are in effect saying is no moderate or liberal Catholic can ever be elected to public office with their support. And I think that's a real problem. And I do think there are prudential questions that are legitimate within the framework of a Catholic living in a pluralist democracy about, for me, especially in the first trimester, what is the balance between defending the right to life versus the damage done to the law because of illegal abortions, that's Thomas Aquinas' point, and potentially to women because of illegal abortions. And so I asked actually a bishop once the question, if you had, let's imagine two scenarios where you made abortion illegal and you discovered the actual number of abortions only dropped 25%, and that was partly countered by an increase in deaths among women who had illegal abortions. Then imagine that as a society, we did everything we could to make welcome children into the world, to make poor women comfortable, that we would help them with their children. And I said the church can't endorse this, but what also if we had family planning that reduced unintended pregnancies, and we discovered that the actual number of abortions dropped 35%. Prudentially, which is the better choice if you're Catholic? I think that's a legitimate way for a Catholic to think, and yet in a campaign, I think my position would probably destroy me from both ends, but I think it's problematic for the church. But I think it's legitimate to ask because you're part of an institution that has made this a very important part of its public, public position on public issues.